Hey guys, so this is going to be a pretty quick stream. I just wanted to talk about this because I know some people are freaking out about the Fed minutes coming in later on today. So, what am I talking about specifically? They are going to be talking about federal policy, monetary stuff. I'm so sorry, you guys. It's like 12 something right now, so I'm a little tired. And I know, just like they've always had these Fed minutes. The stock market is going to go down. It's already going down. Tech, of course, is going down, and it's not my first pony show. So as a result of that, I'm not too worried because I know stocks might be going down 5-7% today, but I do have full faith that it will recover. So, what is this thing about? This is partially talking about Omicron. I'm just over Omicron. They're also going to be talking about looking into this. Uh, they want to, where is it? Here we go. So, they are going to release it at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Fed officials said in a meeting they'll be speeding up the pace at which stimulus measures are withdrawn and then issue projections for the three interest rate rises in 2022. This sounds kind of scary, does it not? Now, here is what I think is going to happen. The market's going to go into a panic. People are going to say, oh, no, 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 the sky is falling again. And then people will buy back in. I don't know if they're going to be in a rush to buy back in, but I think today's going to hurt for a number of people. My thinking is though is that depending on how you see it, this could be a great opportunity or this could be a terrible, terrible day. I don't think this is going to be a terrible day if you're not planning on selling. I think this is definitely a day where you may think about trying to find a position to add in more stock. So, although people might be running out the other direction this year, I've done a lot of thought about it. I'm going to be putting a sizable amount of money into my stock portfolio. Definitely not financial advice over here, but the two stocks that I'm probably going to be throwing money in mostly will be Apple, unsurprisingly. You guys already knew this. But then also Tesla. Just because I'm curious about Tesla and I've been looking at Tesla and I just kind of feel that it's going to go up. That's just my thinking about it. I was spending a couple hours looking at my stocks and I thought about it. I was like, I don't think this one's good. I don't think this one's good. And I just settled on those two stocks. Outside of those two stocks, I'm very biased because I'm very pro tech. I think tech is really where the growth is going to be at in terms of recovery. If you go outside of tech into commodities, you can do that, but I just feel like long term you're better off in tech. That's just my personal opinion. I know sometimes people they say, "Oh, well, if the stock market's not going so well, then maybe invest in something like gold or, do cryptocurrency." For me, I just want something that I feel that will grow every year, progressively, and that's why you guys see me very pro on Apple over here. Just my take on this kind of thing. So, it's exciting because this is the first crash of 2022. I think it will be pretty painful, but whatever you guys decide to do in 2022, I will say, be optimistic about it. I don't think that this will cripple the economy or anything like that. I think that there will be doomsday sayers saying, oh, just wait. The stock market's going to go down. It'll never recover. But I I know it's going to recover. Just what specifically has the most growth this year, we will see. But I truly believe it will be tech. It will always be tech, and I guess just my biases are showing over here. Yeah, I don't, I can't say much about Bitcoin. I do have some Bitcoin, but I hold on to it as just one piece of investment. It's like a person who holds on to silver or gold. In terms of growth about Bitcoin, I think that as long as people are willing to hold on to it and people are willing to, and there's demand for it, then the price stabilizes or it grows, right? When more people want to get into it. But I think that I don't think Bitcoin's going to go anywhere at all. I think that if it was going to crash, it would have crashed when there's no news, right? I've been hearing that there are certain countries out there that want to ban cryptocurrency. I don't know too much about cryptocurrency, so, but even though cryptocurrency they're looking to ban it, it's not going to disappear. I truly believe that. Like, think about it, right? When I first heard about cryptocurrency back around 2009, 2010 ish, like, this is when Bitcoin was around $200 when I first heard about it. I remember thinking to myself, like, what? Well, so what do you do about Bitcoin? And then I was hearing things like, oh, you can use it for the black market and, certain things that you don't want traced so much, not so good stuff. And I think to myself that the fact that it's going to be floating around just ensures that it's not going to go anywhere. Even if, right? And I don't want to think nefarious over here, but even if like all the countries in the world ban it, there's still going to be people who hold on to it. They're not going to deem it as worthless because they just see it as another asset class. But it's up to you, I mean, like, I would say you need to really have you really need to be comfortable with cryptocurrency if you want to have it as your main investment. I think that that's the reason why when you see people talk about diverse portfolios, you'll see them have, let's say, something, and then they'll say, I also have like some cryptocurrency. But I don't know too many people who just fully focus on cryptocurrency. Reason being is I think cryptocurrency, a number of the cryptocurrencies outside of the big ones like Bitcoin, Ethereum, that kind of stuff. When you have like things like, I don't know, Parrot Coin out there, right? There might be a person who says, okay, let me invest all my money into some meme currency, cryptocurrency, and then you can get burned by it. I see it no different than like the whole GME thing. It kind of goes up, 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 up. But if you're the bag holder, you're kind of screwed. If you have a stock and you're buying at the top, but you're you're quite optimistic about it, you're not going to worry too much. Like if I buy Apple, for instance, right now at 179, I might be worried that it's going to go down maybe 5%, but I don't think 179 is the all-time high for Apple. Versus if I buy some no-name cryptocurrency, then I would be pretty screwed if I buy some Parrot coin. I don't know if that's actually a coin, by the way. But if I buy some Parrot coin and then I say, hey, this thing is worth 0.001 cent, all I got to do is just have it go to 1 cent and I'll be rich. But what if no one wants to, what if there's no demand for Parrot coin? Then what? So there are a lot of people who get screwed over by cryptocurrency because they just say, they buy these like no-name coins and then they think, oh, as long as, just wait. Once people invest into Parrot coin, like I'm going to get rich. I'm going to be an early innovator. And people have gotten burned by those kind of things. It's a real serious thing. That's why I say for a number of people, if they don't get in, if they've never got into investing, I would seriously look into getting something that you feel like would hold more value or has more stuff behind it. This is just my personal opinion, okay? Remember, like I said, right? You might not agree with me on Apple here, but at least Apple has financials to back it up, sales to back it up. Something like a Parrot coin or raspberry coin, like you never heard about it before, it's not smart. That's why sometimes when you hear about like the Wall Street bet stuff, people are saying like, oh, just buy this shipping company, it's only 75 cents now. If it goes up to $1.50, you'll double your money. but I don't want to get down that hype train where I have to tell people like buy the shipping company because I need people to buy into the shipping company stock. Either that or I'm gonna be the bag holder. So yeah, I kind of see like those kind of things, those pump and dumps, kind of like a MLM thing. Just because it's like it's a no name company. I don't like going with no name companies because it makes me very very uncomfortable. I'm at home right now. I'm at home right now. So, yeah. But again, for the people who have held on to Bitcoin for a number of years, there are some people who've been holding on to Bitcoin since, oh, I don't know, over 5 years. That takes some real dedication because, man, I've seen the ups and downs of Bitcoin. Jeez. So some people have gotten really uh, successful because of being one of those early holders about Bitcoin. But remember, right? Bitcoin is the biggest cryptocurrency out there. It's the most well known cryptocurrency. Do not confuse something like a parrot coin or a doggy coin as being on the same level of Bitcoin. Yeah, I wouldn't touch penny stocks. I would not sleep well if I did any of those penny stocks. Something like, oh, the stock is only worth 75 cents and then oh, I would be so stressed out, you guys. So incredibly stressed out. I don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. Like for me, the way I want my portfolio to be is I invest in companies that I trust, that I have faith in, and I just let it run. Just invest more money, let it run, and that's it. I've been very open about my whole thing with JD.com. You guys know this, right? This is an open secret here, and I share this with you guys because I want you guys to understand that if you do invest in anything, you do run a risk of losing a substantial amount of money. So for me, when JD was at its high, about 106, 108 ish, I was over at 100% gain. And then the China stuff happened. Jack Ma opened his mouth. He criticized the Chinese government, and then it just went down, 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 down. So JD went from 108. Now I believe it's at like 65 or $63. Oh my gosh! Every time I look at that, I'm like, 5% down, 5%, 7% down. Oh, it's just painful. And I know tomorrow's going to be a painful day for me again because I'm going to look at this stock and I'm going to think, oh my gosh, not only is the stock market going to be down tomorrow. Oh, look at this. Not only is the stock market going to be down tomorrow, I know because it's a Chinese stock, I'm probably going to get hit even harder. So there's coming a point where I'm gonna have to set a limit and just say, you know what, this is gonna be the time. I might end up doing an auto sell because as much I've been holding on to the stock for about 3 years, I could not foresee that the stock would have dropped this much. Again, this is I think JD's a very good stock. They generate billions of dollars. Look at this, the revenue in 2020, $114 billion dollars. This is not like a no-name company now, but you can see how the stock is right now, and I just worry if it gets close to my average. What was my average, like 47 or so? I'm just gonna have to like get out because I'm not willing to go into the negative for a Chinese stock. If I do sell this JD stock, I will move that money over into an American tech company, most likely Apple or some other thing, or Tesla or QQQ, because I just I just don't feel comfortable investing into China. I think that there's just so much negative stuff going on with China right now, so much regulations. I think they have that thing called common prosperity. I might be remembering the name wrong, but basically they want their companies to give back to people and not just unionize, but also share money back with, I believe, the Chinese government. And I don't like that because imagine like if you have a really successful company and then you have like record breaking profits, and then the government walks in and they say, hey, it's great that you made a lot of money, you guys got to give us, like, you got to share it with the people around you. It's not just like a tax, but it's like you got to do you got to share the wealth. Either that or the Chinese government can come in and like basically shut you down. So Like, you would not want to get on the bad side of the Chinese government when you're a Chinese stock. And that's the lesson that I learned. And I share this with you guys very openly because I am advising people against investing in Chinese stocks because you do not want to have to deal with the regulations and the uncertain environment of investing into a Chinese stock. Again, if I invested into Apple instead of JD.com back in 2018, I would not be thinking about China. But since I'm invested into JD, I'm forced to think about China. And all it takes is, China cracking down on JD.com, targeting JD.com like they did with Alibaba. Oh, the stock would go down even more. Just, it's just painful to think about. Absolutely painful. Yeah, so I think when we talk about cryptocurrency, it's just I think of it as like, oh, there's a word for it. Like, people call it digital gold. I just think you just hold on to it. Now, people will criticize and say, well, what's the point of holding on to cryptocurrency if you're just gonna put it like away like a piece of jewelry in a safety deposit box? It's up to you. It's up to you. So, some people, they buy gold and silver and they buy the coins and they just have it sitting around. And even if it goes up 50%, they don't do anything with it. So that's why for me, I just kind of think to myself, I understand why people invest into cryptocurrency, but I rather have my main focus be on the stocks. So we will see what happens coming into 2022. But tomorrow is going to be a shaky day. People are going to be thinking to themselves like, "Oh, the stock market is terrible." It's we're only on January 5th, and I think it's not going to be pretty. I think it's going to be a bloodbath, but we will see how bad this bloodbath gets in. So, if you want to think about a bloodbath and you want to get away from the stocks, like, I fully understand. But if you see this as an opportunity to average down, then or average up, average down, because I know the stock market as a whole is going to be down later today. Decide what you will, kind of thing. But there's a quote that says something like, "Be greedy when others are fearful," and I think the opposite was like, "Be fearful when others are greedy." Uh, Yeah. So I see some people are talking about cryptocurrency again. I don't know too much about cryptocurrency. That's just my opinion about cryptocurrency. I know that some people they cannot wait for technology to improve, so that way we do more transactions using cryptocurrency. However, as you guys can imagine, I do have some concerns about it because let's say you use this cryptocurrency, it's it's worth, let's say, 25 cents a coin, right? And then you go and buy something, and then what if the price of that goes up like 5 cents in the span of 5 minutes? You see, that's the only thing that I don't like about that utilization of cryptocurrency when people talk about buying stuff using cryptocurrency, because cryptocurrency seems like it changes on like a minute by minute basis. So that's the kind of thing that just makes me a little wary. But again, that's my understanding, or that's what I hear about cryptocurrency, and that's why you don't see me thinking too much about cryptocurrency. But I understand why people invest into it, and whatever you guys decide to invest in, I would say be careful, because you don't want to go all in on one thing and then something happens. Like, I know some people, like, if they go all in on JD.com, let's say, imagine this, right? Let's say you have something like, let's say your life savings is $10,000. You invest $10,000 in JD.com when it was at $100. It drops down to $60. You just lost 40% of your money in about 7 months. You would feel sick, wouldn't you? So that's why I recommend investing in other things unless you think that you're really confident about a stock, because if you invest into JD, for example, and you lose 40%, and you see someone investing into something else, like let's say they invest into, um, I don't know, Target. I don't know Target stock. Well, let's just say Target, right? And then you see Target stock, let's just say they went up 20% this year. You would be pissed because you would be like, well, I lost, you lost 40%. And then if you invested in something else, it went up 20%. So maybe if you invested in two, one could have offset the other. But, that's when I invested, when I started my portfolio back in 2018. I consciously did it. I did like I invested into JD and I invested into Amazon, and I had it at about the same amount. So I thought to myself, if JD goes down, Amazon will save my portfolio, and it actually did. Amazon went up, and then JD actually went down 50% at one time. And the only reason my portfolio did not tank is because Amazon was went up substantially, so it offset those losses. So take it however you will. Some people will criticize and say, "Well, Erica, it seems like you should have got rid of JD earlier." But I've always just seen it as a company that had a lot of potential, really like the Amazon of China. And I truly believe JD.com is undervalued. It's just the environment that's just suffocating this stock. It's sad, it's really sad to see it because when I look into JD.com, I think they're absolutely incredible. It's just that they're a Chinese stock. See? So that's the thing that bothers me, and that's why I'm very vocal about be very wary about Chinese stocks, because I know people are pushing. Some people are saying, "Oh, Chinese stocks are a great buying opportunity right now." It can be. It can be a great buying opportunity right now, but you need to be very aware that you're going to be subjugating yourself to a lot of uncertainty. What happens if something goes on with US China relations? Then your Chinese stock that you think, hey, maybe you would gain 40%, it would be very shaky. And that's why I do not recommend buying Chinese stocks, because I don't think people should go through their stress. If I could turn back time, would I have invested into JD.com knowing how the political environment with China right now? I would not. I really wouldn't, because although the stock can go up 40%, I have to think about all the freaking, mental energy, all the research done about Chinese companies in the meantime. I didn't invest into JD, worrying about the party, but now I have to think about, like, oh, what did they do to their competitor, to companies that fell out of line. So that's it. Like, you probably don't want a portfolio where you have to think about the Chinese government. That's all I'm gonna say about it. No, I'm not. It's 12:40 right now. So, safety box says go 100% Apple. Uh, I could, but I kind of like. I'm very pro Apple. Everybody knows this, but I just kind of think to myself, maybe I should diversify and go 50-50 Apple and Tesla. But that's just moving forward. I'm not gonna like cull my stock portfolio just to go 50-50 Apple and Tesla. I do like to have some diversification, but it kind of surprises me because some of the stocks, like the other stocks, it's like some of them are absolute losers. Like, look at Disney stock. Disney stock is a total loser. I mean, I don't want to talk about it that way, but for all these people talking about how Disney is such a great company, barely got any growth over the last 3 years. I don't think it's a substantial amount of growth, because like before I was looking at Disney stock when I first purchased it, I think it was around $98. It was like floating around 98 for the longest time. Then I think it went up to 175. Now it's in the 150 range. I'm just bored of Disney. Yeah. So yeah, I don't like any of these Chinese stocks. I shouldn't say that. I really shouldn't say that. I should tell you guys invest in Chinese stocks and my JD.com goes up, but I I think a lot of people are not buying into Chinese stock, so and I don't want you guys being all like, I bought JD.com, Erica, and I'm all pissed off now. I'm all stressed out because of the Chinese political environment. Don't get into it. Don't get into it. Kind of thing. Just yeah. So buy a stock. My suggestion is buy a stock that you feel confident in, that you feel safe investing in long term, and you don't think it will give you too much of a headache, because I know people who have invested into stocks. These individuals, they let their stocks just run. So they've invested into some stocks since like like 1998, 2000s. And I know people will say, well, what about the stocks who tanked in like after the dot com? Okay. They held. So these people, right? They've held on to their stock for like say 10, 20 years, and then they're like, yeah, my stock's still around. Yeah, I don't really worry too much about it. So some people, they've gotten, they just have passive incomes through their stocks, because if you have a stock with a dividend, for example, JD, don't, I'm not even going to show JD. Let me show you something else. Let me show you Microsoft. I'll show you Microsoft, so that way people don't focus on the pro Apple stuff. So if you have a stock and it has a dividend over here, I don't know what Microsoft's dividend is. It's not, I don't know what it is. But whatever the dividend is for Microsoft, you get the dividend and you can reinvest it back into Microsoft. And, over the years, you amass more and more and more shares. So what is the dividend? What's the yearly dividend? I never check the yearly dividends because it's not that much. It's like, okay, $2.30 a share. So if you spend $330, $329 on Microsoft every what's this year? Every year, I'm assuming. Yeah, every year you get $2.48. So you can use that, depending on how much money you have invested. You can use that 248 to buy maybe another share of Microsoft over it. And you see where I'm getting at? Like you reinvest your dividends back into your stocks, and that way your stocks expand. Your number expands, for lack of a better word. So anyway, I'm gonna get going. Just wanted to give you guys this little talk and stuff, because there are gonna be people out there who are probably gonna act like the sky is falling later today. And I'm just gonna say I'm anticipating the bloodbath, anticipating the carnage, anticipating the wreck of whatever the Chinese stock's gonna be tomorrow. But there's always a silver lining to this, so people could see this again as a buying opportunity for some certain stocks, but you don't want to feel like you're catching a falling knife. And right now with Chinese stocks, I feel like a lot of the stuff is a falling knife. I'm just end it talking about falling knife. I'm gonna end it with the saddest stock, the saddest Chinese stock. I had a conversation earlier today about Alibaba stock, and it was just this long, drawn discussion. It was with one of my family members, and we were talking about how much pain Baba stock has been. So I don't think my computer is loading for whatever reason, but you guys can check Alibaba stock. If you feel like you didn't do so well in the stock market, just imagine if you had invested all into Alibaba stock, and you probably would feel a little better about yourself. I'm not gonna lie, like the people who are still holding on to Baba from 300, oh, look at this, you guys. Look at this. Baba used to be at 309 in October 23, 2020. And now it's at 119. That's really painful. That's really painful. So, yeah. That's why I say, right? Pick your companies carefully, and you want a company that you feel comfortable with long term. So, yeah. I'll talk to you guys later, and don't be a clown, you guys. Go to sleep if you haven't gone to sleep already.